Hello and welcome to Reddit on Reddit, the internet's auditory version of Reddit. I'm Nelson Allingham, joined by Michael Campbell.
Do you know what advice I want to give to our listeners, especially those thinking maybe they'll start their own podcast?
Oh, yeah.
And I like to think they look up to us, Nelson.
Yeah. We're kind of role models in their eyes, yeah.
What I'd recommend is before you podcast, have a big, heavy meal.
Yeah.
And maybe a couple glasses of wine.
Yeah.
And you'll be ready for podcast.
Yeah, I am pretty tired.
Yeah.
Before I started speaking, I was like,
I watched you like drift.
Yeah.
Just drift away. You left your body.
Yeah.
And then like the sting of the last note of our theme came on and you just perked back up.
Yeah. It's like showtime, baby.
It's muscle memory at this point.
Yeah. Cam, I wanted to share with you an experience I had this week where I was like, oh, this is one of those things where AI is going to push out a certain business.
Yep.
And it's one that I probably didn't really think of, and probably it won't do it completely, and you'll understand why instantly. But I had the experience this week of I'm going to the gym pretty regularly for like 2 weeks. 2 years.
But you want AI to do it for you.
Yeah. I was like, why am I doing this? AI exists. But I was like, look, I've basically I created my own kind of like program, I guess you'd say, and because I do have a bit of history of sort of what to do. So
you called it F46.
Yeah.
One better than the competition.
Exactly. Those suckers. But I was like, look, I feel like it'd be worth me talking to a personal trainer and getting sort of fleshing out the program that I currently do. And something I lack is kind of a bit of progression. So more diversity in the program and it'd be much progression. And I first tried to book in with a PT, and then I got sent to the PT manager, and he's like, "Cool, what are you after, man?"
Yeah,
and I
know that guy.
I was like, I regret this already. And then it sort of went through it with him, and I said the same thing, diversity, and want to progress myself. And then I got put onto this guy, and he's like, "Oh yeah, so I got put onto you because." I'm somebody that deals with special needs clients, and we heard you wanted diversity or something. And I was like, what? There are so many things weird and wrong, and how did we get to this point?
Yeah. Hey, big fella, how are you?
Yeah, and I was like, okay,
Wow.
and I was like, oh, probably a little bit lost in translation there, and I was like, obviously I don't mind, he'll know he's a PT anyway or whatever. So kind of went with him, had a meeting with him, and I reckon we had a 20-minute chat first and then did just a few exercises. The 20-minute chat was like, what do you want to do? And I was like, well, I honestly, I don't mind.
Yeah,
I'm
tell me.
Yeah. You just tell me this is what I currently do. This is what I want you to, give me information. And he's like, yeah. But do you want to do this exercise? And I was like, yeah, should I?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, well, it's up to you. And he's like, do you do this one? I was like, oh, no, not really. And he's like, no, that's fine. I was like, what is it? You're worried that I'm going to get offended if you suggest the wrong thing.
Yeah.
And so anyway, and then after that, we end up doing 3 exercises. And he's like, yeah, this is how you do them. One of them was squats. I've done 1 million squats in my life. And probably not 1 million. That's an exaggeration. I would have huge legs, I reckon, if I had done
quite
1 million.
the booty.
Yeah, I'd be great butt. And then just some other stuff that, again, I had done previously. And he was like, all right, cool. Well, that's it. Good luck with it. So there were 4 exercises in this new program that he gave me. And I
one,
was like,
one of them was squats.
one of them was
What
squats.
other complicated exercises were you doing?
He did deadlifts.
Deadlifts,
And
yeah,
deadlifts
okay,
I don't
yeah.
usually do,
Yeah.
and did need a bit of guidance
Yeah,
on like
yeah, yeah.
posture and
There's a
stuff. So I was
form
like,
to it,
yeah,
yep.
fair enough. Then there was some rows with dumbbell rows, kind of, and
Again,
I was supersetting that.
You want your form to be correct there, so okay.
Yeah, although I even asked him about form, and he's like, "Oh yeah, just
bend over.
yeah, just make sure you like pulling your arms back, you know, your shoulders back when you do." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Straight back? Up to you, man.
Yeah, and I was
Bend
like,
it if you want.
I'm not sure about this advice. And then also some dumbbell inclined chest press.
Yeah, right.
And
yeah,
I was like, yeah, that's like pretty basic. I actually was doing that already, just not incline, but like the same shit basically. And so I was like, and so that was his like program for me. I was like, that's one day. I said I do 4 days a week. And I normally alternate like 2 days and then a break, and then I do the same kind of 2-day workout. Anyway, and I was like, this is ridiculous. And then I went home and I was like, wait a second. I know something that might be able to help me out. And I reckon in 5 minutes, I had a chat to ChatGPT.
Yeah.
And
it
was
said,
like,
hey, bro, what's going on?
Yeah. And I was like, this is the attitude that I appreciate. And in no time, it was like, yep, here's a 4-day plan. Here's the exercise you can do on these days. It's going to be your back and chest and whatever. And like, I was like, this is exactly what I wanted. And then it also, and I said, oh, you know, want like advice on progression too. And I was like, oh yeah, this is what you should do for progression as well. I was like, how can you be so bad at something now? You have to surely, I feel like everybody in the world needs to be on their toes, because PT is like, can't replace us.
Can't replace fitness.
Can't replace fitness. Turns out we can.
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody in the world needs to anticipate what AI is going to do in their job and just make sure you're just even slightly better, or provide something that the AI doesn't. So anyway, that was my AI experience.
And now, if you see Nelson starting to get big, like swole, you'll know it's because of AI.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, well, let's get into it.
Sure.
This first one was by Terra33. It was in the subreddit Ask Reddit, but the question was, what are the most...
Sorry, am I supposed to let that go?
Yeah.
What
are the most positive things happening in the world right now that people don't think of? So I thought I'd go through some of these just to perhaps lighten our day.
I think so.
Lighten the listeners' day a little bit. What's some of the good things, some of the positive things going on in the world?
I mean, for you just got a new workout routine.
New workout routine. AI, I would say, in general. Some people think it's the destruction of the world. I think pretty bloody good.
Yeah, until the world ends, obviously.
Yeah.
But until then, pretty good.
I reckon I'll be able to outlive the point at which
you'll
AI
die
will
before
take over
and
destroy lives. And I'm not planning to have any kids, so like, my conscience is clean, is all I'm saying. Cool. This one was by Mum's Special Friend.
Oh.
It's pretty funny.
That is pretty funny.
It's so easy to repopulate the earth of rare plants now through tissue culture. 2 years ago, Brazil was freaking out trying to keep their last remaining Spiritus Sancti plants to themselves. And today, anyone can have them in their house, and there is no market for poachers.
Wow, isn't
that such incredible
good.
over like a 2-year period?
Yeah, wow.
That's such a small period to go from like, oh my God, this plant is going to go to extinct to like, no, just anybody can have them.
It is like those, like, I mean, we saw this in COVID, right? Like when everything was locked down, how many rivers cleared. I mean, it's like, God, this world must hate us. We're so bad for this. We stopped for like a year and so much of it repaired. If we had stopped for a couple of years, it probably would have repaired even more.
Yeah, that's right. I'm afraid of the happening campaign.
Yeah, it's going to get us back.
I think the trees will get us. Here's another one by Amy Smooster. A malaria vaccine has been developed and is currently undergoing human trials. This could save hundreds of thousands of lives a year, many of them children. Amy Smith, I hate to tell you, so many drugs go to trial and so many don't make it.
Yeah.
Like, I want this to be good. I've already made this meant to be positive segment negative.
With your reality.
Yeah. Like the amount of drugs in the past that are like, this one has real promise to cure cancer.
Yeah.
Like legitimately as strong as a statement as that.
I feel like we hear about it all the time for Alzheimer's.
Alzheimer's, that's another great one.
They keep going to trial.
Yeah. We're like, this is good. This is going to work.
Have
this
you heard about
be
it?
The one. Yeah. And look, I hope it is the one.
Yeah.
But it's far more common, I think, for drugs being developed to go to trial than it seems.
I don't want to shit on this person too much, but this is the equivalent, I feel, to those like morning show, Today Show things where they're like, a new study says that eating chocolate is actually good for you.
Yeah.
It's like, technically the study said that in amongst other data with some caveats.
Yeah.
But you have picked out the one bit that sounds interesting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yes. Anyway, you know what? Let's take this back. Let's bring this back to the positive. A malaria vaccine has been developed and will definitely work.
Whoa!
Yeah. It's going to save hundreds of thousands of lives a year, many of them children. So
that's amazing.
That is so positive and great. This one's from John DeBear. I haven't read these ahead of time, just so you know. So these could be really terrible.
Nelson, I never for a second thought you had.
Okay, good. That's good.
And I'm fairly confident.
I feel like I was saying that for the new listeners.
I'm fairly confident that any returning listener expected you have not read these.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. I'm setting a standard. John DeBear said, for the first time in decades, there have been Iberian lynx sightings in the region of Madrid. 2 sightings in the last week. Huge news, as this species is among the most endangered animals in the world.
Not bad.
Yeah,
not bad.
Just some lynx, whatever.
I would have loved
spray
for him to say there's like hundreds of them.
Yeah.
Too many.
Yeah.
They're not nearly extinct at all.
In fact, don't tell anybody that a couple have been spotted because then the poachers are like, oh my God, this will be worth so much money.
Where were they?
There's
2
barely
of them.
anyway. Oh, Madrid, they're dead. We can just assume they're dead already.
They're dead now. Who posted this?
John DeBear.
Thanks a lot, John.
You know what? Again, just to keep with the positivity theme. For the first time in decades, there were literally millions of Iberian lynx sightings in the region of Madrid.
The poachers wouldn't even bother.
They were like, there's too many of them.
They've flooded the market. The value's gone down.
Yeah, it's not even worth poaching them. This one's by Metal as Fuck. A few global public health things. We have made tremendous progress on ending the AIDS epidemic in the last 40 years. Sorry. I'm sorry. I don't really laugh at that, but like 40 years is a long time.
A long time.
Like,
because AIDS
progress.
really blew up in the 80s.
Yeah, that's right. So it's like, anyway. I mean, it is good.
And I do agree with this. I feel like people that have been diagnosed with HIV in more recent years don't seem to be in the same death sentences perhaps they were originally.
Right. Yes, absolutely.
But you're right. It's a funny way to phrase it.
It was just a funny way to phrase it. I didn't mean to laugh at that.
In the totality of all of time, it's not even a millisecond in that aspect.
That's true.
That's crazy.
The percentage of adults that smoke cigarettes is lower than it has been historically. That's that is really good.
That is really
These
good,
are all like just really.
But vaping,
weirdly,
what's the vaping count?
Vaping's definitely going up. Let's be honest. I'm so uncertain about something that I haven't really looked into, and I know that there's all these warnings about, hey, watch out for vaping. It's really bad. That I'm like just so certain. And in fact, is it being outlawed in Melbourne? I think it might be.
Possibly.
In Victoria.
Possibly.
I think it might be. And I'm like 100% certain that part of this is coming from tobacco lobbyists.
Oh yeah.
Who are like, this vaping. You gotta get that out, because they know that if people stop vaping, then they'll just start smoking cigarettes again.
Exactly.
Yeah, vaping might not be good for you, but I think better than cigarettes. And for some reason,
tar and tobacco into your lungs.
Yeah, and for some stupid reason, our government is like,
which is weird because our
maybe.
government generally doesn't bow down to cigarette companies.
We've done made some good headway in the
But
past.
I agree with you. I'm sure that this is being spearheaded by Philip Morris or something.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no chance it isn't. And it's just so funny that we're going to the extent of, it seems like, banning vaping in Victoria. Yeah,
But you can still TikTok.
Yeah, you can still TikTok at the moment.
Yeah.
Wait till big YouTube hears about it. We went from like 800,000 cases of guinea worm in the world in the late 80s to 12 in 2022.
Very good.
I guess.
I mean, it is good.
It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would perhaps argue that this was asking for the most positive.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it is positive, but I don't know if it's the most positive.
Yeah. I'll do one last one.
Okay.
This is by KMG 000001. This guy honked at me. This guy honked at me for not going on green light fast enough. Then caught up to me at the next light, rolled down his window and apologized for having a bad day, and then drove off and waved.
That is pretty good.
That's positive.
Yeah.
That's
what
human
he didn't
behavior
say
taking a
is
turn.
when that guy got home, he went and beat up his neighbor.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
But his neighbor was a Nazi, so it's all right. It's another positive.
It's a positive again. Also, interest in sustainable housing is growing all the time. Things like earth ships and rammed earth houses are gaining ground slowly.
That's great, but just make houses cheaper.
Yeah, just do that. Don't. Yeah.
I'm going to take the glass off you, Nelson.
No.
You're tapping it a lot against your microphone.
I think some listeners
Now I can
might
tap
like
it against my microphone.
Okay. That's that. Do you feel enlightened now, Cameron?
Yeah, a little. I mean, life is still crushing me, but I feel a little bit better.
Think about all those links that were spotted.
Oh, that's good. Millions.
All right, let's get into Ask Reddit. Ask Reddit. This Ask Reddit is by hold on. I'm gonna start again.
Okay. Strap in, everyone. I've just looked at the name. Yep.
V9000.
Oh, okay.
I put in an extra I just because I thought just statistically I feel like I would have missed one. So.
If I want everyone to know the dedication that Nelson just did to make sure he accurately represented the username, he lifted up the screen of the laptop and I could see you counting it as you were doing it. It's very good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not worth all the listeners we just lost.
Oh, no, obviously not. What is your worst addiction in life right now?
I mean, definitely the phone, right?
Oh, phone, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's...
we both have it right next to us right now in case anything might come up.
Just in case.
And as we were recording, someone sent me a message. I had to quickly look at it and go, okay, I had to quickly check that.
This could change my life.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
That's bad, right? Like, I could put it in the other room.
Yeah, that's probably
And then
true.
I got it on my wrist as well.
Yeah, just in case it's in the other room.
In case it's in the other room. So even if it's in the other room, I'd look on my wrist.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. It's funny, when I brought this one up, I was like, I'm not really too sure. And I thought it was a good question.
Yeah, you were thinking of your
for
cocaine
people
addiction.
Yeah, well, it's not an addiction, Cam. Okay.
You like to have a little party every now and again.
A lot. Yeah, because I thought it was an interesting question for people that aren't addicted to something like that. I'll tell you what I've been addicted to in the past. How many days has it been? Maybe 6 days.
Yeah,
I had my niece and nephews over last weekend, and I thought, as a fun treat, they were staying the night, so I thought as a fun treat, I'll get them some Milo cereal, so like chocolate cereal.
Yeah.
And
malt.
chocolate malt cereal. I don't know. It's like little flaky things. Anyway, and when I woke up in the morning, my sister was there. She stayed the night as well. And she was like, oh, turns out Mason has a birthday party. We've actually got to leave now. Totally forgot about it. So then I was stuck with a box of this Milo cereal. And every day I've been looking forward to jonesing, I think is the technical word, for my Milo cereal. And I tell you what, every single time afterwards, I was like, shouldn't I have that? Not once did I have it. I was like, that was a delicious little treat for me. I was like, up for breakfast? Just chocolate. What a terrible idea, Nelson. So that's
I was talking to someone once, and they were saying that that's right. I talk to people sometimes. They were saying that for years they didn't give their kids like junk food. Like, we didn't really do McDonald's. We didn't really eat lollies or anything like that. And the kids didn't really like miss it because they never had it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And they were probably about 6 or 7 or so, and they'd pretty much avoided junk food, or maybe slightly younger. But he said one time they were driving home and he thought, well, let's do a treat. He's like, let's go to McDonald's.
Yeah.
And they went to McDonald's and he got the kid a Happy Meal.
Yeah.
And he ate the fries and the hamburger, and he said he watched his kid just suddenly, he's like, it's happened.
Yeah.
He loves it.
Yeah.
Like, he loves this.
Yeah.
I have now started him.
Oh, no.
I'd be like, no, he's probably addicted to that.
You can't come back from that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, isn't that so telling of McDonald's food? Of like kind of how good, but also like how bad it is at the same time.
It's like chemically designed to make you addicted to it.
Yeah. That's so funny.
Yeah.
I think about how that idea of keeping something away from somebody for so long can actually
like
have
how I
the
keep you away from
reverse-
Stacey because you're so leery.
It can have the like reverse effect where
like how much you leer at Stacey.
Yeah. Now Stacey's in so much love with me.
I know.
You've been keeping us apart. No, but it's I think it's funny. So like in that instance, maybe that kid's going to be like, I now will get McDonald's
I got to
and
make up
takeaway
for lost time
every single time I possibly can because I haven't had it. So what I'm saying is, from birth, feed your children McDonald's and all the unhealthy things in the world. You smoke cigarettes.
If you're a doctor ethically and you're working on the ward, where babies are delivered, say congratulations, it's a girl. Here's a 6-pack of nuggets.
Yeah.
With some sweet and sour dipping sauce.
Yeah.
You just give that to her whenever.
Just whenever she'll be great. All right, Kimmy, let's move on into Today I Advise.
So now it's time for Today I Learned. What's the intro to that?
Today I Learned.
And also sometimes advice.
This Today I Learned is by Canadian W. Today I learned mentally unstable man in Canada.
His name was Canadian W and he's reporting on Canadian news.
Yeah,
which is good.
Good to know. Today I learned a mentally unstable man in Canada cut down a rare golden spruce tree sacred to Indigenous people to protest the logging industry. His trial was on the island where he cut down the tree. Fearing for his safety, he opted to kayak there solo rather than take a plane. He hasn't been seen since.
God. First of all,
Yeah.
I want to know, you better stop logging or what? Or I'll cut down that tree.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you wouldn't do that twice, though, would you? I would.
Yeah.
You don't tell. I'll cut them all down if you don't stop.
Yeah.
What a weird protest to protest logging.
It does not make sense in any way, shape, or form. It's like somebody being opposed to guns, being like, I'm just going to shoot up a whole area here.
Yeah.
That'll I'm sure after this one, they'll do something about guns.
But except for, it's worse than that because the logging industry wants the trees down.
Yeah,
NRA doesn't want mass shootings. It doesn't like when it happens because it makes it look bad.
Yeah.
But this is actively helping
Do you know what they should have given him like a service award or something like that just to really rub it in. Be like, sure, man, we've been wanting that golden spruce tree down for just so long.
So when I think when I first heard this, I listened to it wrong, and I'm now reassessing. It says, fearing for his safety, he offered to take a kayak solo rather than take a plane.
Yeah,
I was thinking like he was fearing for his safety because he had cut down the tree that was sacred to the indigenous people.
yeah,
But no, this is a separate thing. He was scared of flying.
no,
Is that what it's saying? Because why is
no.
that safer?
Yeah, okay. Here's what I think. I think theoretically it was meant to be safer. It's not. I don't think it's that he had a fear of flying. I think he's saying, what if I got attacked on the plane or at the airport? People would
people
be
around.
there
Yeah, right.
to protest or whatever. But I think, and I think that's what he's told people, and people are like, yeah, okay, I suppose that makes sense. You can, in fact, kayak. And he's like, fucking sweet.
Yeah.
And then he kayaks to some other fucking island. He just goes down the river a bit or whatever, I don't know, and then just escapes. This makes it sound like he was killed by the indigenous people.
Yeah.
But I'm like, absolutely. He was like, I'll solo kayak over to that island.
Okay, I'm picturing it now. They go, you've cut down that tree. They're real pissed at you. There's a whole thing. Here's your plane ticket. Wait, no.
Yeah.
I'll kayak there.
Yeah.
I'll meet you there. And you're definitely going to the island? Yeah.
I'll definitely be there.
Yeah.
But
unless something terrible happens to me, it's the only reason I wouldn't.
Yeah.
So if something, I'm just saying, if something terrible happens to me, I won't appear.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't, I will be there via kayak. They're a bit dangerous, aren't they?
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll be there via kayak.
They are known to capsize and kill their occupants.
Is that a passport in your pocket?
Yeah.
No.
No. Definitely. No, funny you mentioned that, actually. My passport was stolen. So, if it comes up as being used.
Yeah. Or if you can't
me.
find it when you check my house.
Yeah.
That's why.
Totally strange event. This got another one here. This is by Yelenius. Today I learned that Walmart tried and failed to establish itself in Germany in the early 2000s. One of the speculated reasons for its failure is that Germans found certain team-building activities and the forced greeting and smiling at customers unnerving.
Yeah, what do you think of a greeter? We have them kind of here. They're more for checking bags on the way, but occasionally they're like, hey.
Yeah.
As you walk in and you don't say back because you've got your headphones in or something.
Do you know what? Can I just say on a slight, I'm on a bit of a tangent here, but I hate, so this happens at particularly Kmart, right?
Yeah.
They have somebody at the door, and I hate that Kmart has set up their stores so that the checkout is in the center of the store, and you have to walk through the store to get out. So what they do now is you have to have your receipt so that you can walk out and show the person at the security, which is normally just like a teenage kid or something anyway.
Someone we could take.
I could bloody take him. And I'm like, okay, so what you've done is you've set yourself up for having your items stolen in your store. You've purposefully set that up. And then it's on the onus of us, the customers, to prove that we haven't stolen something as we leave. Mm-hmm. I was like, I hate that. And I don't ever want a receipt. Not from Kmart anyway. No. You're like $3 appliances I don't need to ever take back. And so like the other day I went out, I bought a heater and I'm carrying it out and I don't have the receipt with me because I didn't care to pick it up. Yeah. And the lady's like, you need a receipt? I was like, I didn't pick it up. And just sort of came out and she's like, and then...
lady,
And
lady.
then, yeah, she was like really struggling. But then this other lady who was at the checkout comes with my receipt.
Jesus.
And she said, oh, yeah, she was actually very nice. And in the tone of, I think, like, she's like, yeah, it's really stupid that you have to do this, but I'm going to give you, but like, I'm going to have to do this because in front of the other team member, I have to prove that this is the policy that we have to follow.
Could you take a photo of the receipt on your phone?
Yeah, man.
And then be like, here's your stupid receipt.
Yeah.
It's still taking time. It's annoying.
Yeah.
It doesn't solve anything.
Exactly. But yeah, it's so dumb. Anyway, but otherwise we don't really super have greeters. No. It is strange and a bit unnerving, I think, the idea of it. But also what I find interesting is this, like, it's so interesting that Walmart said, we're going to introduce our culture to another completely different culture. Yeah. Which I think just shows a like total lack of understanding of like a few select people who made the decision to make Walmart that way. A good, I would say, example of the opposite of this is Trader Joe's, which in Australia is Aldi, because there is obviously, and that is a German company. Yeah. But they've also obviously identified, like, you know what, the name Aldi, our certain branding is not going to work in America. We're going to call it Trader Joe's. How effing American is that?
Yeah. and the logo is a lot more, let's say, like Americana.
Yeah. And so I think it's...
What is the logo here? It's just a weird shape.
Yeah, it's a weird shape thing. I don't know, yeah.
It's nothing.
I like how... Audi obviously was like, how should we go into Australia? They're like, they won't care. Just do whatever. just do what we can.
Do we need to put stuff on shelves? Some of it.
Yeah.
Just put other bits just in a big basket in the middle of the store, I guess. Will there be a theme to what we put in there? No, of course not.
Just whack it in.
Yeah.
Do you know, it's interesting. I happen to know that the Aldi stores as well, they pay really well for their managers, but you get worked to the bone. Like you get worked really hard.
Work you like a dog. And they only ever have like 3 people in a store.
Yeah.
And those 3 people do everything.
Yeah.
Like you're not just like a checkout person.
Yeah.
If it's low, you're a stock person and you're getting deliveries and you're,
Yeah.
But you get to sit down as you swipe stuff through.
Yeah, that's true. That's the benefit there. But I remember reading something as well, kind of just talking about the idea of like cultures and how they are, I guess, sort of formed and have different opinions about something like this, like the idea of the team building exercise and the forced greeting and smiling. And I remember reading a comment. Oh, actually, did we do it on the podcast? We might have. I can't remember. But it was about, I think even perhaps Russian people, where they have a really firm and stern kind of relationship with each other. And I guess that's just their natural culture. And it was because of their history. At least this was somebody's summary of it. I don't want to be held accountable for knowing their history well and stuff. But the idea that they became this way because there was a lot of like infighting and deceit and whatever. And so being direct became the more preferred method of like communication because it meant a trustworthy person and an honest person. And so I think that's really interesting how, you know, like our culture and American culture, it's the opposite where we are fake. Like we are fake often. Yeah. We'll say, oh, hey, how's it going? We don't care how that person's going.
It's like when you get a little message on Teams or something at work and it's like, hey, good morning. You're like, what do you want?
Yeah, just get to the...
You're not here to wish me a good morning.
Yeah, exactly. I think I'm German at heart or something, Camo, because, I really hate those like fake niceties all the time.
You know what I find myself doing? I'll write a message. It'll be like 9 o'clock and I'll be like, hey, I can't find those files that I'm meant to do. Do you know where they are?
Yeah.
And I'm just about to send it. I'm like, oh, hang on. Hey, what's up?
Yeah.
And then also, I always just write the message, and I'm always so close to sending it, and I'm like, oh, I look like a psychopath.
Yeah. I need to it's so annoying that you have to do that stuff.
We should move to Russia.
Yeah, I reckon we should. But then there is like kind of this element of like, but I also like being polite, and I think it's not. There's just something on the fringes that I feel like
Does politeness cost anything?
Yes.
Oh,
my
okay.
dignity. Okay, Kebbit, let's get into shower thoughts.
Shower thoughts, 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 shower thoughts, 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 shower thoughts, 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 shower thoughts, thoughts, thoughts.
This shower thought was cross-posted to us by Gone Fishcaking, but it was originally by Laszlo Dalama. With the amount of large objects we bring into our homes, it's a wonder we don't collectively begin making even slightly bigger doorways.
So here's what I've learnt, not from my father being in the construction industry my whole life, but more when we were renovating this house, is so many things are just a set standard that if anyone changed it, the industry might collapse.
Yeah.
And like doors would be that thing. One company would change it and like builders would refuse to use it because all the other doors are this size and that's all the things they've got set for and all the frames and all the doors and all the hinges and whatever are made for that.
Even literally some things like fridges, for example, they will be built to be able to go through any standard door.
Yeah.
Because we could have such bigger fridges, Cambo.
Yeah.
If only the door industry would...
Same with like height of steps.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Like that's a very regimented thing.
Yeah.
Steps are supposed to be between certain... There's a standard step size and there's a mini step size.
Yeah.
But between those... No.
How dare you?
Because everything is built to is designed around then like levels of floors in houses. And,
Yeah, it's funny how these like standards sort of become a thing.
Yeah.
And then as we progress as a society, you're like, well, actually, we would maybe be better off having a slightly bigger thing.
The solution to this, actually, I kind of disagree. I don't think we have that many things in a house that were hard to get through our door.
Yeah, because they're all built to get through doors. I did think that was kind of a weird part of this comment. Like
you
this person
is
living in a house where they've had to like take out a wall 3 times because they couldn't get their bed in or something. I don't know.
The solution to this is, why isn't it more common to have double doors?
Yeah, that's true. You'd think maybe that. I also think, though, surely part of it is like an insulation thing.
Yeah,
like the walls are far better insulated than the door.
Yeah.
And so if you have a bigger door or whatever, or double doors, then you're just getting worse insulation. Yeah. Anyway.
We're assuming, perhaps blindly, that they've kind of worked this out.
Yes.
And like how it is now, is it for a reason? Because it makes the most sense from a design of a house perspective.
Maybe it should be...
But maybe that's big house.
Maybe it should be either 2 options. Should be smaller. Maybe. For the insulation factor, right?
Yeah.
Or way bigger. Every wall is a door.
Like a garage door.
Like a garage
that just
door.
lifts up.
Yeah. Really huge.
You cannot have like art on your walls anymore, obviously. Or you can just glue it to the wall.
Yeah, it has to be on there real.
You're not putting a nail and a string on a painting anymore.
Yeah, that would not work. That would come off as soon as you try to get out of the room. I think that's the solution.
As we always say on this show, any wall's a door.
Yeah. All right, Kimbo. Let's get into podnapping.
Oh my God, I'm being podnapped. Podnapping.
This is Podnapping, where we nap a pod. We take a topic of conversation or a segment from another thing and we do it ourselves.
Correct.
This week's my week. But Cameron, we're coming to the end of the financial year, as we know, and I haven't used my skip yet.
I would argue against that.
Yeah.
I would argue that, in fact, we're in the new financial year because it is July 3rd.
Oh, damn it. Okay, for that reason only, I will do a podcast. So I've gone on to Sporkle.
But you are correct in saying you haven't used your skip this year.
I haven't used my skip this year. Yes, correct. I could have skipped that. Damn it. I've committed to it now. This was
would you do it this early?
It's tempting.
I get one a year. Here's your first one. Skip!
Oh, thank God. Sweet relief.
Can't wait for next time. I might skip.
Okay. Anywho, this Sporkle quiz thing.
Okay, yeah. Good old trusty Sporkle.
Good old trusty Sporkle. It was it's accidental inventions
Okay, yeah.
throughout history, and so
Like cornflakes.
like corn flakes. Were they really? I don't know.
Yeah, I believe they were. I'm probably slightly misquoting this, but they were designed to stop young men masturbating.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
They were like beds were lined with them.
Oh, that is so weird.
But then apparently someone I
Somebody
guess
just
just
started
picked it. I
eating
was like,
them.
this is pretty good.
Yeah. So the kids would eat the cornflakes and then masturbate.
Yeah, because then you get a yummy bowl of cornflakes and a wank.
Oh man, that cornflakes was so good. Anywho, so first I'm going to give you the name, and I would say, oh boy, you probably struggle with just the name.
Okay,
But
of
then-
the invention.
No, sorry. Name of inventor.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm gonna struggle. Yeah.
Then I'm going to give you the hint.
Okay,
And I think from most of the hints, hopefully, you should be able to get these. Or maybe you at home could get them. The first inventor is Alexander Fleming.
okay. Penicillin.
Penicillin.
Yeah.
I was like, I think that might be the only one you get based on
moldy
the
bread
name.
was it? Well, there's mold. He discovered the mold.
I'll read you the little hint here. Fleming accidentally left out a bacterial culture of Staphylococcus, which was contaminated by mold. He noticed that bacteria wasn't unable to grow in parts of the dish where the mold was growing. And that was in 1928. Okay, next one. John Pemberton.
John Pemberton.
Yeah.
No, the name isn't familiar to me.
Yes. It was originally meant as a miracle tonic for treating hangovers. You know what? Because sometimes I think they get progressively easier in the description, I'll pause at certain points to see if
Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola is correct. But a batch was made using carbonated water instead of plain water, leading to this popular beverage. That was in 1886. Don't you reckon it's weird that, I mean, not saying that should be super common knowledge, but I have never heard the name John Pemberton before.
Yeah.
It just feels like you would have because Coke is so popular. I don't know.
And there are the Koch brothers, but they're terrible and not related to the company.
Yeah, yeah.
It is still a hangover cure, though.
Yeah.
If you're feeling hungover, okay,
But
it goes
Coke
well up.
is the best, yeah. Ruth Wakefield. There is zero chance I know that person. Okay. Having run out of Baker's chocolate.
Having run out of Baker's chocolate. Okay. I now get the category.
Yeah, basically. This one's pretty hard. Maybe I should be less... I'll give you a thing. This isn't like an item as such.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Then I was on the wrong path anyway.
Yeah, okay. Wakefield substituted semi-sweet chocolate bits, which were meant to melt completely into the dough. But instead, this was invented.
I actually don't know.
When I tell you, you're going to be like,
Yeah, it's so
"Oh,
obvious.
I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it?
Chocolate chip cookies.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
That's that simple. Yeah, I was thinking
Yeah.
more complicated.
I know, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
like, that's why I was like, it's not really a thing.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Kind of is. Anyway, okay. Wilhelm C. Röntgen.
The Wilhelm scream.
Oh, that would have been good.
He was the guy that made the sound effect.
While Röntgen was working with a cathode ray tube covered in opaque black paper. Any ideas? This one's tricky.
Sunglasses.
He noticed a fluorescent screen nearby was glowing, leading to this discovery.
X-ray?
X-ray! Good
Yeah.
work. Yeah. Richard T. James.
Nah.
James noticed the unique way. Oh, this one's really easy. James noticed the unique way in which a dropped torsion spring had flip-flopped around on the floor.
The Slinky?
Slinky.
Yeah.
And replicated using a long steel ribbon.
I just blanked on that name for a hot second.
Yeah. That was in 1943. Oh, X-rays, by the way, 1895. 1895. Whoa, I didn't realize that they were that old. Wow, that's really insane. Okay. Harry Coover and Fred Joyner. Coover was creating a plastic to use in precision gun sights. He ended up producing an adhesive which polymerized rapidly when exposed to moisture. Superglue, forming strong chemical bonds. That was in 1942.
Wow.
Or as I like to call superglue, cyanoacrylate.
Is Superglue a brand?
Probably.
Like Band-Aid is a brand or Escalator is a brand.
Yeah.
It's just
Or
become
Velcro,
Or
yeah.
Velcro. Yeah. Obviously, we call it hook and loop fastening.
Yeah. George Crumb.
Oh, great name.
Yeah, that is a good name, isn't it?
What did old Crummers do?
A fussy customer kept sending back his fried potatoes. I'm going to leave it there.
Did he
for a
make
moment.
French fries?
No, close.
okay.
Sort of complaining they were too thick and soggy.
Still sounds like French fries. Wedges. I don't know. Potato chips.
Potato chips.
Yeah,
Frustrated, Crumb sliced the potatoes extremely thin and stir-fried them, creating this snack. That was
The
in
guy that made
1853.
potato chips, his last name is Crumb.
George Crumb. What a good name.
That's fantastic. Is that why we call them crumbs?
They should have been called potato crumbs.
But is that why they're called crumbs when they're left over?
I think so.
After him?
Yes. Well, it doesn't have the B, but
Well, they misspelled it.
yeah, that's right. Patsy Sherman and Samuel Smith. This one's a little bit harder to
name's ring a bell.
probably identify the exact item.
Okay.
3M was developing fluorochemicals for use in aircrafts when a liquid solution accidentally stained a researcher's
Whiteout?
shoe.
No.
As the shoe became dirtier and worn, the stained spot remained clean. This is in 1952.
Okay, so as I'm just trying to picture, so it stained a shoe, and then the shoe continued to get dirty.
Yeah.
Is this Teflon?
No. It's Scotch Guard.
Scotch Guard. Okay.
Yeah. Which is like,
Yeah.
it's just not, I don't know. It's just a funny thing to be like, if somebody said I didn't know what Scotch Guard was called, I'd be like, that's fair enough.
Fair enough. Yeah.
It's just the thing that you put on your shoes so that they don't get dirty. All right. Albert Hoffman.
That name does ring a bell.
Yeah, maybe I might have heard of this one before. Hoffman synthesized this hallucinogenic. In fact, if I finish that, it is not going to help anymore.
Yeah.
Hoffman synthesized this hallucinogenic chemical while searching for medically useful ergot alkaloid derivatives.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know, but that name did ring a vague bell.
Right. I reckon you might have maybe heard of this before. It was invented in 1938, and it was lysergic acid diethylamide, LSD.
That was my first thought.
Yeah.
Was LSD.
Yeah.
And I guess thinking about it now, it isn't naturally occurring.
Right. Oh, right. Yeah.
But my first thought when you said hallucinogenic was, LSD is hallucinogenic. But I guess someone didn't invent that. But I guess someone did invent it. Yeah,
someone did. Yeah. Arthur Fry.
Arthur Fry. Okay. Yep.
Spencer Silva. What? Has this got the wrong name or something? Oh, I don't know. Anyway, it starts with Spencer Silva created an extremely weak adhesive while working for 3M.
Blue tack?
I reckon you're like on the right path.
Post-it notes?
Post-it notes.
Yeah.
Later on, oh no, sorry. Now I see where this makes sense.
Yeah.
Later on, Fry used the adhesive on his paper bookmarks, which could peel off without tearing the pages, as in 1974.
Romy and Michelle's high school reunion has lied to me. They claim they invented the post-it note.
Oh, bloody. Wilson Greatbatch.
Also a good name.
Pretty good name.
Greatbatch and Crummers should get together.
Yeah, I reckon. While working on a device to record heart sounds, Greatbatch inserted the wrong resistor into the circuit.
Like the microphone?
No, it is related to the heart still.
The pacemaker?
The pacemaker.
Yeah.
Wrong resistor into the circuit, causing it to repeatedly pulse on for 1.8 milliseconds, then off for 1 second. That was in 1960. Frank Epperson. Epperson left... This one's kind of funny.
Is it the EpiPen?
No. Epperson left... barely any of the... In fact, none of these, I think, have the inventor's name in the...
Even though they could have been called
Idiots.
potato crumbs.
They could have been called potato crumbs. Epperson left a cup with a mixture of powdered soda and water along with a stir stick.
Powdered soda and water.
Yep, along with a stir stick outside.
Expanding foam.
In sub-zero temperatures. And returned
The ice slushy.
to find the drink had frozen over. Think about all those things together. Powdered soda and water,
Yeah.
along with a stir stick,
Yeah.
left outside, and when he'd returned,
Yeah, it sounds like
had
a slushy.
frozen. But completely frozen.
The icy pole.
The icy pop.
Yeah, the
ice pop / popsicle.
Yeah.
That was in 1905. It just seems like a weird thing to be like, oh my God, I've accidentally
I've accidentally
invented an
done
icy pole. It just seems like I don't know,
Yeah.
like such a, I don't know, minor thing to, anyway. Percy Spencer.
Nope.
Spencer was building magnetrons for radar sets. While standing near one, he noticed the candy bar in his pocket began to melt, leading to the invention of
The microwave?
this household appliance, the microwave oven. It's in 1945. Percy Spencer died not long after of radiation
Cancer?
poisoning. I just made that up, but like probably. James Wright.
The Wright brothers?
Oh, I knew you'd say that, but no.
Okay.
Different Wright.
Worth a shot. I don't know any of their names, so
Yeah.
could have been James.
Could have been James. While Wright was looking for a synthetic rubber material, silicon, oil, and boric acid were combined
Latex?
to form, not quite, this sticky, gooey substance.
Sticky tape.
Later marketed as a toy.
Play-Doh? No.
So close.
That's sticky, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're really close with Play-Doh.
Like I can't think of the name of. It's like a gack.
Yeah, yeah.
What's it called?
It is called Silly Putty,
Silly Putty.
and it was invented in 1944.
Yeah.
William Herschel.
This name also sounds vague.
This one I think is not quite right in the theme of
Okay.
this. But anyway, Herschel first described it as a comet, but later noticed its elliptical orbit around the sun.
Is this Halley's Comet?
No. No, he first described it as a comet, but later noticed its elliptical orbit
Pluto?
around the sun. No.
Is it a planet?
Some say. Yes.
But it's not.
They say definitely.
Okay, well, it's not Pluto then. I feel like, Aristotle and such discovered a lot of the biggies, Mars and whatnot.
Yeah.
Mercury?
Keep going.
Venus,
Yeah.
Saturn.
That was Uranus,
It's pronounced Uranus. Please
no,
don't.
1781. No, I've asked William, and he said, it's Uranus.
Your anus.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say that he invented.
No. He's,
Accidentally invented. No.
yeah, accidentally discovered, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose so. Cool. That was it. You did sort of okay, I guess. I don't know. You did fine.
Yeah, I didn't do that great.
Now it's time for the Ask Me Anything, where listeners of the show, just like you, listener, can write in and ask us anything you want.
CN has written into us this week. I've also realized I haven't pre-read CN's email, and I've just seen the opening. And there's some words in here, so apologies why I ramble through this.
Yeah.
I found out about quantum bogosort. Do you think that's how it's pronounced?
Yes. I actually thought initially it was just bogsort, but he put an extra O in. So anyway.
Quantum bogosort. Yep. A theoretical sorting algorithm. It's genius. Regular bogosort was invented as kind of a joke. It takes a list of numbers and randomly shuffles them. It repeats this forever until the list is sorted. Theoretically, it could be the fastest sorting algorithm, sorting a list of billions of numbers almost instantly. However, the odds of that are almost zero. And it'll probably keep running until the end of time.
I mean, if it's a list of two things.
Yeah, 50-50.
Yeah.
That's where quantum bogosort comes in. It takes a list of numbers and randomly shuffles them. If the list isn't sorted, it destroys the universe. Assuming the many worlds interpretation of the multiverse is true, this will result in at least one universe with an all sorted list. The rest no longer exists and are of no concern. I just wanted to share this. CN, your umbrella correspondent.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I do enjoy that.
This does sound like a programmer has had a really bad day trying to work on a sorting algorithm. And it's like, man, if I could just destroy the world. The little tidbit I have to add to this is, again, not that I'm remotely close to a good coder at all, but one thing I did learn about programming is that sorting is not as easy and obvious as I think it seems in like everyone's day-to-day use of such things. And by that, I mean, let's say you're using Excel and you've got a list of names and you want to list them alphabetically. So you click the little drop down, you click sort alphabetically, and it does it. That is like just far more complex than you probably think it is. And it happens in an instant. And that's only like, and that will use a certain type of algorithm to sort that list. But there are like, tons of different types. And it's like, it's almost to put it in a weird comparison is like in Silicon Valley when they talk about an algorithm to make files smaller. Yeah. It's the same sort of thing where it's like to get the like perfect way to do this is kind of tricky, and there's lots of different criteria that you need to take into consideration for different types of lists that are sorted in slightly different ways. And anyway, it's I think it's really sort of interesting, a really small, interesting facet of programming that is far more complex than anybody probably thinks about or gives it credit for.
Next time you're on a shopping website and you do what we all do, which is sort by lowest price first.
Yeah.
Just know that a lot of work went into that.
A lot of work went into that, yeah.
By the way, I want an option to say show me mid-range, because that's really actually what I normally want.
They haven't worked out the sorting.
I know.
For that yet,
so I obviously don't want the most expensive, but the cheapest is pretty crap. Show me something right in the middle. That's probably where I'm at.
Yeah, that's right. I think that's true. All right. I think we should end it there. But thank you for
new financial year's feeling good.
Yeah, feeling good. If you would like to write into us, you can do so. Reddit Podcast, READIT podcast @gmail.com. You can also reach us at our subreddit.
Yay.
Reddit Podcast.
Yep.
And our Discord. It's in the show notes. Don't you dare try to contact us on Twitter or Facebook. Yeah, we have both those things.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to get rid of them.
No. That requires work.
But
we certainly won't be on them.
Yeah, we won't be on them. We will not be acknowledging any sort of correspondence that way. But that's it. So thanks for listening, and we will read you later.